Anyways, I'm just gonna start by, I was thinking about what I'm gonna call these talks because I have
Yeah.
a few guys I have lined up, but
Okay.
I wanted
That's
to
good.
bring you up first. You know
Oh, thank
what?
you.
You're welcome. The thing is, what came to my mind was guys hangout. What do you think about
Okay.
that? you
Yeah,
know,
you can do that. Yeah. Yeah.
Two things came to
Just
my
hanging
mind.
out and chatting.
Yeah, just simple. It can be on any topic, but today I want us to address the biggest elephant in our world today, which is COVID-19, coronavirus.
COVID-19.
You know, I want us to
Right.
address that situation. But before I even we go into that, you know, what have been your thoughts when it comes to not being able to even go to the hair salon because of
Okay.
this situation? Because I'm itching to go for a haircut, man. How about you?
Right, right, right. No, I really didn't want to cut my hair. I've been trying to grow it. It's actually grown a lot now. So it's just, but I needed to go to the stylist to figure out a way to style it better or like different things like that. So that's maybe a little bit of a bummer that I can't do.
Yeah.
But no, I like the look. Everybody's looking a little scruffy these days. It's kind of like the theme going around. We're all like in this together kind of look,
Yeah.
or
And
people are cutting their own hair.
it's becoming a now, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you
It's
know,
because so it's
I'm
kind of
just
it helps me out.
yeah, I'm literally in my bed here. I
Yeah,
decided to I decided to just I was saying, should I sit on my office? I'm like, no, no, no. I'm just gonna make it simple. I'll just sit
right,
down here
right,
and do this.
right,
Yeah, but what has been the let's talk about the challenges a little bit first when it comes to this um, situation that our world is facing, and then we'll talk a little
right,
bit more about what are the kind of opportunities that we can how can we turn all these bad news to good news? How
right,
about that?
right, right,
You know,
right. Yeah, that's a good. That's a good direction.
yeah. First of all, what are some of the challenges that you have been having since this virus got to Canada?
Oh, I don't. I mean, the main thing you can't really hang out with your friends. You can't go. I can't come visit you. And the kids
Yeah.
or anything like that. So that's a church, for example. You can't really be in the with the church family.
Mm.
Like hanging out the normal way. Kind of like a disruption to our lifestyle, right? Like even going to a restaurant, you can't sit there, and we can't meet up for coffee. Normally you would meet people up for coffee, talk over, like walk around or go to the gym. The gym is a big deal,
I
actually.
was expecting you to say that
Uh,
actually.
the, the gym is a big deal. Being able to, on a normal day, you're at the gym a couple of hours a day. So now it's like, well, you can do home workouts all you want, but the gym, there's a certain element of going to the gym, right? That
Oh
that, that
man.
keeps you consistent, keeps you focused. So obviously that's a big deal. That's probably most of it for me, actually. Just the gym, church, um, restaurants,
Yeah.
and like just spending time. The people aspect of things for me. The meeting of people is
Which
what's
is
been.
big, which is big. Because me
Yeah,
personally, when I think about, things that we take for granted, like going to the gym
right,
and, hanging out with friends in a restaurant, and
right.
all those things you mentioned, I think we take it for granted until we're asked to stay home like this, right? And now we know
Yeah, yeah.
we can't do all those things anymore. That's quite big to me. I,
Right,
I,
right,
I
right,
can't even
right.
wait for things to go back to normal. I'll be able to do
Right.
everything again. It's
Exactly,
crazy. It's
exactly.
crazy. But even at that, one area you talked about these are all things we do, just stuff like that. But how about when it comes to what we do for work and stuff like that?
Mhm.
How is it
Right.
affecting you?
Oh, I mean, for work, it's causing us to think, right? Like, I'm in sales, and I work in the furniture store, managing a couple of furniture stores, and it forces you to think, how can you sell furniture without people seeing the furniture, and we've been doing it. We've figured it out. We launched a new brand. I've personally been busier than
Wow.
probably I was last year. I've been working more time, more hours, more thinking capacity to
Hmm.
launch something and get it done. And of course, because your stores are shut down, you have fewer staff. So even though you have most stores shut down, everybody is now gone home, which means everything is still on a couple of people, the key, the core team.
Hmm.
Um, but honestly, we've. I was just talking to one of my team members today, and I was like, look how now people don't come to us. Before, people would tell you like, oh, I have to bring my wife. People are buying furniture online.
Yeah.
We're doing over the phone. We're doing like a virtual. I made like a customer. I made a video and sent it to them over WhatsApp, and that whole transaction was done over WhatsApp of
Wow.
just making them feel comfortable, showing them the bedroom set, and they say, "Oh, maybe we'll come pay you." You don't have to come. I made them a video. We're doing a video call
Hmm.
for them. We launch a new website. You punch in your postal code that tells you we can deliver. Then we launch a new service called Fast Free Next Day Delivery. Fast Free Next Day Delivery in furniture.
Wow.
You buy something today, I deliver it to you tomorrow to your door. So different things like that we've been able to do, and then people are calling us and saying, "What do you have in stock?" We're like, "Go to this website. Anything you see there, I can get you tomorrow. Anything on that website, I can get you
Wow.
tomorrow." So people have been ordering from there, and
Yeah.
we've just it's forced us to think differently, um, and like how people pay for stuff, right? Paying by credit card, even our
Hmm.
financing, we text you the link, you can finance it. Everything can be done. I don't need to now it's but we would never my team would never have thought about that before of like not even having a customer come in,
That
have
means,
been able to do. Hmm.
yeah, that means this virus has actually made the world more creative. Is that
Absolutely.
will I be right to say that, right? Because
Absolutely.
I feel like
Absolutely.
we are God created us, right? And He made us very creative. But
Hmm.
sometimes we don't push ourselves to be creative until something push us, And
Hmm.
this virus has really pushed us to
Yeah.
come out of our comfort zone and be
Right.
creative, right? Look at some of the
Exactly.
nice things you just
Exactly.
talked about. But okay,
Right.
now what have you been doing to stay in shape then, since the gym is closed?
For me, I just figured out you eat less. When I move less, I eat less. So for me, I've
Hmm.
actually tackled my health, my fitness in that aspect. Like if I'm not gonna be moving as much, so fasting has become a bigger deal in my day. Like now fasting, which makes sense because if I was going to the gym before, then I need to have some energy, right? And
Hmm.
I need to eat carbs. I need to have my protein. But if I'm not going to the gym, then I don't need those fuel sources because I'm just eating the same. So that way I'm fasting now 15 hours, 16 hours of my minimum fat, 18 hours a day, 20 hours a
Wow.
day.
Hmm.
One of my friends, she's Muslim. She's doing, it's Ramadan. So I was like, oh, look, I'm already fasting. We might as well do Ramadan fasting together.
I did
But
not.
this is a little different. There's a
Uh,
little different because I don't drink water.
that's the thing too. But and two, if you look at Ramadan, I have a few friends that are fasting Ramadan. I think it's that 1st of May, right? If I'm not mistaken.
No, it's already started. It already
Oh,
started.
it already started.
Today might be day three. Today is day three, actually.
Oh, okay. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I talked to these guys, and we used to live
Yeah.
together back in the days in Ontario. But the
Okay.
Ramadan, with my understanding, some of the my Muslim friends are gonna see this video and probably say, "Oh, Bess, you don't know anything, you don't know jack about what we do," you know. But the thing is, I know that they eat first before certain time in the morning. They wake up
Yeah.
pretty early before sunrise and they eat.
Right.
Then
Right.
they have to stay till sunset. If sun does not
Yeah.
set till like
You don't eat.
9 p.m., they don't eat,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's
It's
always
quite,
changing. It's not definite. It's not a definite
yeah,
time. So
that's,
I think yesterday was the day before was 8:45. Then yesterday was 8:55. Today might be 9 p.m. Because also you're moving more towards summer, which means
yeah,
your days are getting longer. It, I mean, depends where you are. Some places where I'll be eating like earlier because it depends on how their season is. But it's
yeah.
all sunrise to sunset basically. So
I know in
you
Nigeria where
don't
we come
need to.
from, I think the sunset pretty early, right? Maybe 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
The sun
6,
is
6,
gone.
7 p.m. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's gone,
basically.
right? Hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Here it's still nine, some nine. It's actually approaching nine these days now.
But one thing I've been hearing from a lot of people lately is that, oh, you know what? They are. I know people. A lot of people are dying from this virus, which we have to keep praying for them and stuff like that. But at the same
Right,
time, I feel like, there's so much opportunity out there right now.
right,
There's so much we can do right
right.
now that we did not see before. Because internet is a tool, right? It's a powerful tool that the world has. And just imagine, okay, maybe I should put this as a question. How would it have looked like if this happened before internet?
Oh, no idea
It's a big
actually.
question.
Okay, how would we use Zoom? How would people communicate with
It'll be
each other?
crazy,
I think it
right?
would be, yeah, yeah. Like I need to see what they did when swine flu was a thing a couple of years
Yeah,
ago.
in in,
Um, I,
in 1918, right? In
yeah,
the
it's a
Spanish
long
flu,
time ago. Yeah,
the one
Spanish
that
flu,
killed, I think they were some ridiculous number. I think up to 50 million they were saying.
something like that. Yeah, yeah. It's a
Wow.
pretty crazy
And there
number,
was no
but
internet then because I
I
remember,
don't think so.
I think internet came to my city where I'm from in
Hmm.
Nigeria. It came in, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 2000, 2001. That's when
Right,
internet
something like
came.
that.
I
Hmm.
think it got to Lagos first. You know,
Okay.
wow,
Probably, yeah,
wow.
because it's all the wiring and everything, right? All the phone lines.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I want us
Yeah,
to shift a little bit to what can people do at this time, because a lot of people are craving for ideas right now.
right,
Just to be able to do a lot of things at this time. What can people do at this time
right,
to be successful? Take advantage of this era that we are in right now. This post coronavirus. People are talking about, oh, coronavirus should go so that I can go back to my regular routine. But what
mm,
can we be doing even during this time of the coronavirus, whereby everybody is still kind of locked in their homes?
right, right. Oh, there's a lot of things to do, but it's a time of self-improvement, right? It's a time to
Hmm.
come out better, smarter, more agile, more flexible, more intuitive, more like sharper. I think everybody, like, whatever your top goals are, this is the time to attack those goals, because most of our goals is not really work related. If you
Hmm.
think about it, most of our goals is personal, it's health, it's family, relationships. I think, I mean, if you made a list of your top goals and you said, look, at this coronavirus time, I'm gonna tackle those goals and I'm gonna try and reach them. I'm gonna create new habits,
Hmm.
because what's gonna happen is the post coronavirus is that people would have created certain habits,
Yeah,
and those habits, we become slave to those habits, and it's hard to just give up a habit and be like, oh, coronavirus is over, never mind, I used to just eat chips and watch TV. No, now at 6 p.m you're still going to be eating chips and watching TV,
yeah.
right? And anything that interrupts that would now become like, why is this an interruption, right? So I think it's the time to build new habits, or to really stay focused on your habits that were good before. Right,
Hmm.
right, because if you add some good habits, then the time challenge, like I go to the gym often, and now it's the thinking is actually harder to go to the gym. So I know that when the time comes when the gyms are open, I can rest on the idea that I used to go to the gym, so I had some consistency. Now I have no consistency. Now I have to build up my consistency again. I
Again,
already know that. You have to have a strategy. You have to think forward and, okay, this time
wow.
is what I'm gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna plan my life for finances.
Hmm.
Coronavirus has really helped you save on so many things. Like gas is cheaper, so it's helping you think, like, do I really have to drive as much, on a regular day?
Yeah.
Do I really have to use certain services on a regular day? So it forces you to basically think about those things. But I think people can use the time to come out stronger, right? In church today, my pastor was preaching about endurance. And it talked
Hmm.
about, in the time of waiting is the time of endurance. You have to endure. And if you don't endure, you cannot win, right?
Hmm.
Without endurance, you cannot win. So we can think of it as a time to really strengthen ourselves in certain ways, right?
Hmm.
It could be in our habit for eating, our habit for working out, spending money. It
Hmm.
forces you, right, to think creatively and figure out a way to do things better. That way,
Wow.
when coronavirus is over, who knows what life is going to look like? But people are going to win, right? Some people
Hmm.
are going to come out of coronavirus and say, "Oh my God, I didn't have a job for 3 months, so my life is over. But people are gonna be like, wow, I made so much more money during coronavirus, right? I,
Yeah.
I won so much more. I grew so much more. I bought more properties. I bought more stocks.
Yeah.
I invested money in this, and you're like, is it the
Are
same
we living?
situation?
Were we living in the same situation? I thought everybody was home watching Netflix because
Exactly.
you'll be hearing even top guys. These are celebrities. They are saying, "I've watched all the series on Netflix," but
Right.
we also know that that is not true. Some of them are closing deals. They are signing up
Right.
deals and doing a lot of things, right? And it's
Exactly.
crazy, because one thing I know is that whatever happened to a man, it's
Right.
either going to make you or break you.
Mm-hmm.
You have to choose to what are you going to be the one. There's this. You remember? I think you know him. Can I remember his name? What was the name of that pastor that was before Pastor Raf? Remember him in Brand?
Pastor B.
Not Pastor. Is it Pastor B?
Oh, Pastor. Oh, yeah, yeah. Pastor. It starts with the O. Pastor Ola, Olu. Pastor. No, not
But you
Pastor
know the
BB.
pastor I'm talking about. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, yeah,
Since
yeah,
at least
yeah.
there's something he used to say back in the days. Back days in Toronto. He said, whenever when you see an orange, right? An orange, when you
Mm-hmm.
press it, it brings out an orange juice.
Mm-hmm.
When challenges come, is what is inside of you that will come out. The
Right,
reason
right,
why a lot of
right.
people are going to come out of this challenge of coronavirus and being locked in their houses and stuff like that is because
Right.
of some of the habits they have built in the past. They are just adding to it, putting new
Mm-hmm.
layers to it, you know.
Right,
And those people that will come out from on the other side and they look worse off, they are more in debt, and a lot of things has
mm-hmm.
happened is because they I don't want to sound generalistic because there are still some people that are really facing it at this time. They are facing a
Right,
lot of challenges at this time because
right.
of certain things. We don't want to be insensitive to that. But at the same time, there's a lot of people that will take this as an excuse
Mm-hmm.
to be lazy, to expect more from the government,
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I also know that this is more like a time to just sit back and reflect, and say,
Right,
okay, how can I get better, And,
right,
and you don't have to wait until coronavirus is over. You have to start
right,
working on it right now. What am I doing
right,
right now so that you are making more money, you are affecting more lives, you are being creative. What are you Do
mm-hmm.
you want to create your own brand? Are you trying to open a business? Are you trying to exploit the internet? What are you going to do right
Right,
now, starting from now, And I think that's
right,
big, and you touched a lot about that, which I'm very glad you did, But I
right,
want to
right.
kind of digress a little bit, um, one more time before we wrap up here. You know,
Mm-hmm.
those that are Christians, because some people that will be watching this later are not Christians. Those that are
Right.
Christians, what are they supposed to be doing at this time? How are they supposed to be using their time to develop their relationship with God and stuff like that? What can they do, at this time?
Right. I think naturally it's a time to draw closer to God. Actually, in the beginning, even more so now, I found like I was praying more because I was like leaning more to God. The churches were online now. Like normally you would go to the church, but now you watch it, and then
Mm,
churches are more active on social media. The one of my pastors was saying uh, the church has grown so much more in the time of coronavirus
mm,
because now we realize that, oh, I can be in church even when I'm at home. I can watch the church program even when I'm at home. So now with people that would usually not go to church are like, oh, I can just watch the church. I always watch the church at home. So
yeah.
the church is in actually more homes than it was before. And who would have known that that would be the situation, right? But I
Mm-hmm.
think it's a time to pray more, right? Pray more about our future, pray more about our goals, pray more about our strategies, pray more for the people that we love, care about. I think it's a time to definitely read our Bible more and
Mm.
dive into devotionals and we can be isolated, like we can be isolating, but we're not isolated.
Wow, I
There's
like
something
that.
like that. We can be social distancing, but we're not socially distant,
Mm.
from each other. we can still connect with each other, we can still pray, we can still be, even if we're socially distant, we can be spiritually distant,
Wow, I
right?
like
We
that
still
too.
have to be on point with our spiritual life, because that's what's going to take us further, right?
Hmm.
In our journey with God. But what do you think?
I really like your answers though. I feel like, and it's not like we prepared for this. It's just coming out.
Right,
I really like those things that just came out of you. Yeah, for me, I think you nailed it, you nailed it, because I think this is the time to just connect with God in a deeper level, because
right,
prior to this time, it seems that we were just living the rat race, in as much as some of us were doing, working on ourselves, on our faith, on our business, on our ideas and stuff like that, but we
right,
could do more, you know,
right.
because now we have more time. But like, not for everybody, of course, but there are some people that, they have their family with them. And okay, are you connecting more with your family at this time? Are you spending more time with your kids? Are you spending one time with your spouse or your significant other, or what have you? I think this is the
Mm-hmm.
time to just keep working on those things that you have always been putting in the back burner. You know,
Mm,
I about that book you bought 20 years ago. I think this is the time to
exactly.
bring it out and read it at least. And I've been telling myself too. I want to connect more with God on a deeper level, so that by the time
Right,
this is all over, we have
right.
we have come out with a new gift, because we
Mm,
receive more gifts in that place of prayer, right?
right,
And I
right,
think it's
right.
important. Yeah, but one more thing before we go, because I want this to be short, and so I can let you go do other stuff that you have planned. One more thing
Mhm.
I want you to just touch on it quickly before we go. What is the just kind of advise people? Do people have to be afraid at this time? Because I know there's a lot of fear at this time. I've been hearing that there's some suicides. The
Mm,
suicide rate is going up and stuff
right.
like that. What kind of advice you would give to those that will be listening to this, watching this later?
Well, for me personally, okay, this is gonna be coming from me, my thoughts. I don't think it's a time of fear. I think it's a time of excitement, and it's a time of opportunity. Every time there is a catastrophe, every time there is something bad, a pandemic, it's opportunity to first, I think, level the playing ground, even the playing ground, to be like, now I can start. Like, for example, there is a program I'm in, that I would have never gotten into, but now they made it free. They said, "Oh, look, during the coronavirus, we're gonna make our whole business program that helps you develop your business." And when you go into the program, you're like, it's a real program. They send you a textbook. It's not just like a talk show. They
Hmm.
literally work on with you on your business. But I would probably have never done that, and I would probably have never. If I looked at the cost, I would probably have said, you know what, I don't want to do this program right now. I have to
Hmm.
really look at my resources. But the program is now free, and they take
Hmm.
you through a bunch of different things. So I think it helps to even the playing ground for us, because then we can see things that we normally wouldn't have been able to do. We can do it because
Wow.
everyone is in the same situation. How often can you go outside and someone's saying I got laid off, and the other person's like I got laid off too? Usually it's not like that. Usually there's more people that get laid off than there's people that have a job. Now every we can literally form a party of all the people that got laid off, and
Wow.
they'll probably win. They'll have a president, by the by
It's
the end of
crazy.
the end of the year. So I think it keeps the playing ground even.
Hmm.
But because it does keep the playing ground even, it makes it easy to win. Right. I walked into a restaurant the other day, into an African store the other day, and I said, "Oh, I make skincare." The guy's like, "I'll be very happy to carry your products. Bring it in Red Deer." Said, "Bring
Hmm.
me your products when you're launched, and when you have some more, I want to carry it in my store." Right?
Wow.
Because we're all compassionate towards each other, which means I'm gonna support you, because now we're all supporting each other. We have to.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So it gives you an opportunity to start a new business and say, everyone, due to this coronavirus, I've decided to start my business. And everyone's like, yeah, that makes total sense. I'm going to
Hmm.
support your business. Whereas on a regular day, no one cares if you start a business or if you don't start a business. People are all doing their own thing. So I think
Yeah.
on that level, it also works. But also, not every, most great businesses have started in a time of recession, in a time of pandemic.
Hmm.
If you look at it historically, you can literally see, because it's really when things are bad that we get creative to be like, oh, maybe I should start a business. And if your business survives when things are bad, when nobody has money, and somehow you were able to launch a business and stay in business, of course, when people have money, it just makes sense that your
Yeah.
business will keep growing, right? So if you start a business, people don't have money, you're like, okay, my price has to be good, my costs have to be lower. You're sharper when you're making the business. When you're going to the customer, it makes sense to them because you're like, look, I know you have no money right now, but that's why I'm launching this product, to save you money and save you time or make you money, right? So I think, like, when you look at it that way, it's a great, there's opportunity right now to do anything you've been thinking of doing. At least try. Doesn't mean it will succeed, but you will learn. If you try, you fail, then you learn. Then you can go
Wow.
back in and do something better, right? So for me, that's like my perspective, to be like, what else can I do? What else can I learn? Who else can I talk to in this time to give me an advantage, right? Like,
Wow.
homes are so much cheaper, loans are so much cheaper. The cost of doing anything right now, even when you get a mortgage, they tell you don't pay till July, don't
It's
pay till
crazy.
June. And you're like, okay, but you rented the place already, because people are still renting places, and
Yeah.
then the renter still pays you the rent right away, but you
You
don't
know.
really have to pay for it till the end of
Wow.
end of the coronavirus pandemic, right? So I think, for me, if we just look at it from a different perspective, there's a lot we can do. It doesn't matter if you want a restaurant. There's a lot you can do. You can start a cooking show. You can do a talk. I don't know. You can reach out to people
Can do
and make a
anything.
Zoom call. You can,
If it doesn't work, go to something else. Just be
exactly,
creative. The
exactly,
last thing you want to do is to be licking your wounds right now and do nothing.
exactly,
Wow.
exactly. But
Wow.
that's what do you think?
I think you nailed it though. I think you covered a lot of areas, which I think everybody has is gonna when people look back at this video and when they see it on YouTube, they are going to it's gonna inspire people to want to do something. They are gonna those people that are just spending the whole day watching TV are gonna say, okay, maybe I'm doing the wrong thing. I don't want to stop watching TV, but maybe I should allocate more time to creating and working on myself and being better, you know,
Right,
and taking
right,
advantage
right,
of the opportunity, just as you talked about, people not having to pay mortgage for a few months. If you
right.
can qualify for a mortgage, why not go for it right now and take advantage of that?
Exactly. Right,
You can't go
right,
wrong.
right,
It's quite
right, right.
quite interesting to hear you talk about that. I'm gonna
Yeah.
wrap up here. I think I was trying to make it um around 30 minutes. I think we just kind of went over a little bit, which is okay as well. But thank you so
Hmm.
much for coming up today and chatting with
Yeah.
me. I'm
You're
going to
welcome.
invite you again so we can do this again.
Yeah, sounds good. We can
You
hang
know,
out
uh,
together.
yeah, let's do more of this. Let's do more of this. There's so much topic, and I know you are very flexible. You can touch on any area as long as we talk about it before coming up.
Right, right. Give you an
And
idea. Yeah,
thank you so much, Ade. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Share
yeah.
this
You're
video,
welcome.
like it. You'll find the button anywhere around this video for the to subscribe and hit the notification button. And I've been hanging out with Ade here in Edmonton. Take care, Ade. Have a good
Awesome.
one. Bless you.
Right.
One
Thank
love.
you, you as well.
Take
Yeah.
care.
Bye.
Bye.